Hey, hello friends. Welcome to my channel SAP SD and ABAP League Support. Today we'll discuss about some of the important reports that we need to use frequently when we work on IDocs. Now let's get started. The first report that we're going to discuss is that RC1 underscore IDoc underscore set underscore status. So this report will be used to update the status for both incoming and outbound IDocs. So let me go to SC38 transaction code. I'm entering the report now. If I execute, I can change the status from to to. This report can be used in case of both incoming and outbound IDocs. I have already published one video about this report. How should we use it? You can check out that. So this is the first report to change the IDoc status for both inbound and outbound. Okay, the second report that we should know is that RBDM IDoc. Let me open this report now. SC38. So RBDM IDoc. If I execute, so we have discussed one video about that change pointers, how change pointers will work, and how to create an IDoc from the change log tables CDPC2 RCDPC. Right. So this is the program which is required to trigger an IDoc for the change pointers. So triggering and change pointer IDoc. So either we can use this report or a T code also available for this, that is BD21. So if I try to access BD21, you see same screen appeared. You see the T code also in the status bar BD21 only, right? So this is one of the important report to trigger the change pointer IDocs. The next one is that RBDAPP01. Okay, so basically the partner profile configuration in a W20, right? So we will be defining the nature of that partner profile. That means how the IDoc should trigger. You see, I am opening one inbound IDoc now, one message type, okay, one partner profile now. Here you see processing by function model. We have two options here: trigger immediately, trigger by background program. So trigger immediately means whenever system receives any incoming IDoc, then that will be processed immediately. Okay. Suppose if we want to process those IDocs in a collective way, then we should enable this radio button, save that partner profile. Then we should schedule the job. We should schedule the job for with help of the report RBDAPP01. So remember that this RBDAPP01 report used only for the incoming IDoc processing, inbound only. So this report should be scheduled as a background job. Okay, so whenever trigger by background program has been enabled, then what will happen? IDoc comes to the system, and it will land in 64 status, right? From 64 status, it will be processed either a 53 or 51. Successfully processed or failed. 53 means successfully processed, 51 means failed. So whatever it might, something will happen when we run this report. So basically, this RBDA PP01 will collect all the incoming IDocs for the message type wise, and those IDocs will be in 64 status. If it is different status means it won't pick it up. But as per standard behavior, if it's a trigger by background program, if this is maintained the partner profile, then obviously the IDoc will definitely land in 64 status only. Then this job should be running in the background. So in your project, if you come across any kind of issues with incoming IDoc that it's simply sitting in 64 status not getting processed, then look for the job, any job running on this report RBDA PP01. In go to SM37, give the program name and execute and see anything configured or not. Our job is running but it's failed. Any reason might be there. So this is how we should analyze the 64 status messages incoming IDoc issues. Right? Okay, the next one is that RSE OUT double zero. RSE out double zero. So this is for incoming IDoc, right? RBDA PP01 for incoming IDoc, and this is for outbound IDoc. Suppose business says that I want to collectively send the outbound IDoc data to the customer. I don't want to process them immediately. I want to send in a batch wise. 1 hour once I need to push the data. Outbound IDocs, right? That time this report will be scheduled as a background job, right? So if I open any of this, yeah, you see one entry has been maintained in that outbound partner profile. If I open this one, here you see the option collective IDocs are pass IDoc immediately. If pass IDoc immediately means whenever IDoc triggers, it will be processed immediately. If collective IDocs has been enabled, then there must be some job should be scheduled. Then only it will be processed. If there is no job scheduled on the report RSE out double zero, then that IDoc will be always in processing mode only. It won't be processed at all. Okay, so basically, whenever we select this collective IDocs for outbound IDoc partner profile, then the IDoc will land in 30 status. Remember this. So in case of incoming, it will be 64, and this report will run. It will make it to some other status. And coming to outbound IDoc, it will land in 30 status. From 30, this report will run. It will pick for an message type relevant IDocs, which lands in 30 status, and it will try to process them. So let me show you the report also. So RSE out double zero. If I execute this one, you see here we can specify the IDoc number or basic type, right? And message type wise, anything we can do this. So we need to schedule this as a batch job. If any issues are there, so many outbound IDocs are still in 30 status means we need to check any job has been scheduled or not, or job has been scheduled. If it's failed, then we should check why it's failed. So that should be verified. Okay, let's check the other report. The next one is that RBDM OIND. RBDM OIND. So basically, in case of an outbound IDocs, right? In case of an outbound IDocs, when the IDocs successfully triggered, the status will becoming 0, 03, right? The IDoc is successfully triggered for outbound cases, it will becoming 03. So we are running this report RBDMOIND. So when we run this report, what system will do? System will try to convert the status of an outbound IDocs which has 3 to 12. Okay, let me show you the status now here. You will see when the IDocs successfully processed, outbound IDocs successfully processed, then status of the IDoc will be 03 only. 03 is saying that data passed to port OK. That means data sent to the TRFC queue successfully, no issues at all. So when we run this report RBDMOIND, then what will happen? System will try to dispatch. System will try to dispatch this IDocs to the sender system. When it is successfully sent to sender system, then it will say that dispatch is okay. It's kind of acknowledgement that we're going to receive whenever the IDoc is successfully reached to the sender system. Even though after running this report RBDMOIND, the still status remains 03, then the IDoc is stuck in the tier FCQ, or sometimes what will happen, the status will becoming 11. 11 means the IDoc didn't reach to the vendor system, it's stuck somewhere, right? So RBDMOIND also used, this one used only in case of outbound IDoc only to make status from 03 to 12, and this is for outbound only, right? Suppose now let's check the next report. The next report is that r sorry RSETESTD. It's nothing but WE11 transaction code. Okay, let me open this one. SE38. If I execute this one, so WE11. So sorry, WE11. WE11. So both are same. The report, the T code, both are same. The intention of this report is to delete the IDocs. If you want to delete any of the IDocs, then we should use this T code W11 or the report RSETESTD. Okay, the next report what we will discuss is that RBDM RBDM main 2, sorry, money 2. Okay, let me open this report first. SE38 RBDM money 2 execute. Okay, so this RBDM money 2 report will be used to process the IDocs which are failed. Remember that this report will be used in case of an incoming IDocs only. Let me mention that this should be used in case of incoming IDocs only. So suppose if the incoming IDoc has been failed with status 51, right? 53 means application document has been posted. 51 means application document not posted. So if any of the incoming IDocs has been failed with status 51, then this report RBD money 2, this report will be used to reprocess those 51 incoming status IDocs again, right? And this report also scheduled as a background job in the rail systems, production systems, to process the failed IDocs again. So due to some data issues, the IDoc has been failed, and someone did the correction in the database level, or some correction has been done to fix the issue, right? Once they fix the issue, again we need to process the IDoc, right? How can you process? Business doesn't have access to this report S38, right? Then if the job is running based on this report RBD money 2 means, then that will take care. So that will be running frequently in the production system, and it will be processing the failed IDocs, 51 status IDocs. So basically, this program is useful to reprocess inbound IDocs which are in error status. Okay, so and if you see here in this report, you don't see any status field here. We see IDoc number field created at message type, message function, something like this only. We don't see any status field. The reason here is that the design of this report is to process only the IDocs which has a 51 status. Okay, now let's check out the next one, RBD money IN. RBD money yen, right? So this report also similar to RBDM money 2 only, and this one also used in case of an incoming IDocs only. So let me execute this one, RBD money yen. Both are same only. Both are used for the same purpose only. The main difference is that, okay, the program RBD money yen reprocess the inbound IDocs, and it's nothing but a wrapper program. Right, so this is a wrapper program consisting this RBD money 2 also. So this program contain this one. It's a parent, it's a child. So if you run this program, we are indirectly running this RBD money 2 as well. So the both purpose have the same intention. Okay, let's check out the other job, that is RBD again. RBD again. So RBD again. So this is used for in case of an outbound IDocs. So reprocess the outbound IDocs. So we have T code for this, that is BD83. Either we can use BD83 transaction code, BD83, you see, process outbound IDocs with error again, or we can run the report RBD again. Okay, something wrong here. Okay, spelling mistake, sorry. Yeah, so RBD again. So we have seen two other reports, right? RBD money 2 and RBD money n. So this is to process the failed IDocs for incoming IDocs, and RBD again is used to process the outbound IDocs which are in error status. So in case of outbound IDocs, whenever it is failed, right? Whenever it is failed, then we will be running this report periodically as a background job after correcting that after correcting that master data issue or config issue. Then this is scheduled as a background job to reprocess it again to make sure that it successfully processed again. And this is specifically for RBD again for outbound IDocs. Okay, the next report is that RBD SYNER. So RBD SYNER is used to process the both incoming and outbound IDocs whenever it has any syntax error. Okay, if you see here the status field, you see syntax check. Okay, okay. So if you see here, it gets outbound IDoC 07 will be the status. 07 saying that outbound IDoC has an syntax error. Similar way, in case of an incoming IDoC also, we have some syntax error status messages are there. Let me, I don't remember the, you see here one, right? Error during the syntax check. You see syntax check status number here, and right. So whenever any IDOC failed with syntax error, both inbound or outbound IDOCs. So if you want to process the IDOCs irrespective of the syntax errors, so we want to ignore the syntax errors and we want to process the IDOCs means we can simply run this report RBDSYNER. Let me run this one now. So it will be used to process the IDOCs even though it has a syntax error, right? The next last one that I'm going to discuss is that reprocessing the edited IDOCs, that is RBDAGAIE. The last one is that RBDAGAIE. Okay, one second. Reprocess the syntax error IDocs for both incoming and outgoing. Okay, so this is the last report that we are going to discuss now. So whenever we do any changes in that IDocs, for example, let me try to open W02 now. Okay, so many IDoC has been failed. So what I will do, I will open any of the IDoC and let me go to the data records and double click here. I think here. Okay, so if see here, I'm going to change the IDoC data now. Display or change. Okay, so now I am going to edit the IDoC now, right? What I will do, I will add something here. One, two, en it and save it now. It is saved now. I'm going back. Hmm. Right, so I have edited the IDoC now. Let me refresh. You see here, earlier it was 29 status error, now it becomes 32, saying that IDoC was edited, data records has been saved. So if we want to reprocess IDoC, okay, if I want to reprocess this IDoC, then I should run this report RBDAGAIE. If I run this report, it will reprocess that IDoC. See, after changing the data in that IDoC, we should reprocess it, right? Without reprocessing the IDoC, how it will become successfully triggered, right? We should make it successfully means we should trigger the IDoC again. How can you trigger that? By using this report RBDAGAIE. So reprocess the edited IDocs in case of both incoming and outgoing. So that's it, friends. So please note it down these important reports, which will be held very handy and helpful for us in case of analyzing any kind of IDoC issues. I will mention this report details in that description of that video. You can copy from there and you can use it in your project or implementation project wherever it is required. If I missed any other reports, please do let me know. I will also learn from you. That's it from this video now. Thanks, friends. We will meet in the next video.